Nissan have been selling funny-looking cubes in Japan for over a decade. Bigger than the popular K-Class microcars, but small enough not to be offensive in tightly packed Tokyo, they've been a massive hit with hip Japanese city folk. However, because Japanese tastes are what British people call the future, Nissan have always considered it too left field to put on sale over here. Until now. This third generation of Cube is on sale in the UK, giving fashion dunces like us the chance to be hip like the cool kids of Tokyo. On British streets, it'll hit you in the eyeballs with a ferocious 1-inch punch of Far Eastern style. But seeing as most Cube owners will spend their time sitting in it rather than looking at it, we'll ease ourselves in gently by starting on the inside, away from all the distracting Tetris bodywork. They obviously didn't ask the bloke who designed the outsides to do the interior. It's pretty plain in here. There's a fairly groovy little swoop shape to the top of the dash, and this circular control panel's pretty interesting, but overall it's not exactly frothing with technology and style. There are jazzy options like brown velour seat covers, shag pile dash tops and trick ambient lighting, but without all of the glitz, the most striking feature of the cabin is of how roomy and airy it is. And this has to be the comfiest seat in the world. It feels like the type of bed you'd find in your grand spare room, all springy and comfy. Which, in a way, sums up the Cube's interior quite well. It's a cosy, homely little den to relax in. A car that you drive whilst wearing slippers. So while it might not look it, the interior of the Cube is pretty unusual after all, because it's a city car that's actually comfortable in the city. Because it'll never blend into its UK surroundings, the Cube will be bought by people who want to make a style statement. The type of people who don't buy a Mini because they're associated with try-hard, hair-gelled estate agents who describe their car's handling as like a go-kart. So to appeal to the type of people who are smart enough to want one, the Cube needs to drive like an anti-Mini. So instead of sporty and raughty, it needs to be quiet and relaxed. Where a Mini feels tight and firm over bumps in the city, this just feels soft and forgiving. You feel a bit conspicuous sitting high up in such a bright white box, but it is the opposite of sitting with all the low-down Mini drivers, and for that reason, it's good. Obviously, anything relaxed and cube-shaped isn't going to be quick. The 108 brake horsepower 1.6 litre engine takes over 11 seconds to coax the Cube to 60. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter. All of the controls are light and satisfying enough not to let you worry about the Burke in the Mini who's going to try and race you from the lights. Most cars are fun because they're quick. The Cube, somehow, is fun even when it's not moving at all. But being the opposite of a Mini isn't always a good thing. Until a diesel version goes on sale in the summer, the only Cube you can get comes with this 1.6 litre petrol engine, which around town will do just 30 miles per gallon, which is rubbish. If you compare that to the 50 to the gallon you can genuinely get out of a Mini Cooper diesel, it does start to feel a little bit less comfortable. Which serves as a reminder that no matter how much Nissan talk about the Cube's lounge-style living space, asymmetrical approach to transport, or bulldog with sunglasses styling, it's still just a car. Instead of concluding that the Nissan Cube is absolutely brilliant because it's nothing like a Mini Cooper, let's take a step back. It's actually just a boxy 5-seat MPV, which means it's really a rival to the Citroën C3 Picasso. And why you think that this trendy side-opening fridge door would be rubbish when you've parked it up against a wall, it's actually really easy to reach in and get a pint of milk. So, turns out it's practical as well as comfortable. This £15,000 top-spec model is similarly priced to the Citroën, and with a reversing camera, alloys, cruise control and climate control as standard, it's decently equipped. The boot might not be massive, but with a sliding back seat and kiddie-pleasing roof, it does do a good job of being a useful family car. Unfortunately, most of this praise is probably completely irrelevant. People aren't going to buy the Cube for its space and practicality and comfort. They're going to buy it as a cheeky V-sign to all the people that drive around in their silly little go-karts. The fact that it's actually quite brilliant is just a bonus.